There is a monumental shift happening right now in American politics. Politicians are finally learning that Americans will not tolerate the coddling of deranged criminals. Sounds obvious, but we needed a case like this for it to happen. That's our Why It Matters segment tonight. We start with the facts, and they are indisputable. Former New York Times reporter Alex Bernson writes on his Substack, black men who make up about 1/14 of the American population commit over half of the homicides. He goes on to say it is a truth that we need to face honestly, even if it hurts. And sometimes the truth does hurt, but the only way to face the truth is honestly and then to deal with it. Just a few years ago, you weren't allowed to have an honest conversation about the roots of crime in America. We can share these facts while also acknowledging poverty, mental illness, lack of parenting. They all contribute to crime, but eliminating them does not eliminate crime. Now, in the wake of a young Ukrainian refugee's murder, the White House is calling out violent crime for what it really is.
We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country.
Just think about what is happening in our major cities, the bloodbaths every single weekend.
Iryna Zarutska was stabbed to death on the rail system in Charlotte, North Carolina, by a savage career criminal. This is pure evil on full display.
In the past, anytime normal folks started talking about crime, Democrats would start yelling racism. You can't talk about crime, it's racist, and the media would go along with it. We'll get to the media part of this story in a second. That's important as well. Democrats now realize they are in an impossible spot. There is no defense for Iryna bleeding to death. She was left to bleed to death on the train. The mayor of Charlotte first refused to criticize the man who stabbed Iryna Zarutska to death on the city's public transit. She now admits the courts and magistrates failed this young woman. It is a subtle but important change. Took her a couple of weeks to do it. Most Americans are concerned about crime today. According to an August Associated Press survey, 2/3 see crime in the U.S. as a major problem. Crime is a problem, very simply, because Democrats kept letting the criminals out of jail. It is pretty simple. And now Republicans have their proof.
She was slaughtered by a deranged monster.
He was let out 14 times by activist judges and prosecutors.
The days of allowing soft on crime, we're not going to do it.
These reckless policies have turned too many of American cities into hunting grounds for career criminals.
This man was committing felonies when the victim was 9 years old.
This is not a policing problem.
One of the most underreported facts of this case tells the story the best. DeCarlos Brown Jr. didn't pay his fare the night of the stabbing. Something as simple as enforcing the fare on public transportation would have saved this woman's life. It's that simple. The FBI special agent who announced the federal charge in the case did something incredibly simple today. He admitted that soft on crime policies are the problem.
Why our buses, our trains, our transportation systems almost homeless shelters or mental health shelters? We need to fix that. We need to clean that up.
You clean it up by sending career criminals to jail, whether they are mentally ill or not. Most people who would stab someone are mentally ill. For the past few years, Americans were beaten into silence. You couldn't talk about crime. Now you can. Now you can tell the truth.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.